Hopefully it is live, and it is live. What's going on, Kim?
What's up, Coach Benny?
I am good. I'm good. Thank you for doing this and having patience. It's been one of those long mornings where it's been like meeting after meeting after meeting, but I'm glad to have you here with us on this next edition. As I'm live from Florida, so I don't know if you guys can see me. Am I like? Is there like a shadow over my face? Kind
Yeah,
of.
be
No.
fine.
Am I clear? All right, cool. So Kim is a Rebel Fit member. You've been a member how long, Kim? For about what, almost close to a year now?
Yeah, close to a year.
Close to a year now. And you have lost in total 25 pounds, right?
I have. Yes,
25
sir.
pounds. Yes, yes. And for those who don't know me, I guess let me introduce myself. My name is Coach Benny, the chief motivator here at Rebel Fit. And where we do a lot of different things with a lot of our clients here in Woodbridge, from health to wellness to nutrition to movement to a lot of different things. And Kim is one of our amazing clients who is joining us virtually. Kim has been part of the virtual program for almost a year. If, by the way, if you're watching this live, type live in the comments. If you're watching this on the replay, type replay in the comments to let us know that you are here. But Kim has been a virtual client for almost a year now. She jumped on board with us when COVID kind of hit off, and all that stuff happened. Twana, what's going on? Twana's watching live with us right now. But Kim jumped on board with us when when the whole COVID pandemic thing hit. Denise is saying hi. What's going on? She's watching live. A lot of our fam are coming through. And she has seen some amazing results with a lot of different things that's going on with her, both from injuries and just a lot of different things, which she's going to talk about today. Um, and share her experiences with you guys and kind of just her journey as far as her own fitness journey and some of the things that she struggled with and those kinds of things. So, Kim, welcome. And I'm thankful that you are allowing me to do this. But tell me a little bit about you and tell me a little bit about what your life was like before coming to us and what made you make that decision to start training with us based off of the things that was going on in your own life.
Okay, first of all, thanks again for having me, Benny.
Absolutely.
But I would say that um, what started my life was like before this journey was rather bleak. It was very dark. I wasn't motivated at all about my health. I was actually rather depressed regarding my health.
Mm.
But then I started watching my aunt, Rosa Montgomery. I started watching her and started seeing her transform. And
Hmm.
only thing I kept hearing was Coach Benny, Coach Benny, Coach Benny. It became like a household name, you know. And I'm like, okay, I got to check this Coach Benny person out, you know. And she's like, "Oh, just try the challenge. Do the 6 weeks challenge. See if if you like." And I'm like, "She know I can't, turn away challenges
Hmm.
because I'm rather competitive." So
Right.
it started there. That was the birth of me coming to Rebel Fit. I started with the 6 week challenge, and I'm like, you know what? I think I like this place. From what I've seen thus far in this 6 weeks time frame, I think I like it. I want to continue, and I did, and I'm glad that I did because it has truly transformed and it's transforming my life, my mindset, my outlook on life, everything. I mean, it's just like I'm smiling more.
So
And that
tell
didn't
me,
happen before.
yeah. So
Go
tell me,
ahead.
so let's not skip over that key part because a lot of people see the end result of things, but they don't necessarily see like what led up to you seeing that great progress. So you said that your life was pretty dark, it was pretty depressing. If you don't mind, share with us some of the things that you struggled with before you joined. Like what are some of those dark things? Like what are some of the things that you necessarily needed the help with?
Okay, so I'm only 44. I'll be
Okay.
45 on the 4th. And so for me, just being able to move meant a lot to me. and I wasn't able to do that, not comfortably. I mean, it's getting better now than what it was before. Before, it's like I could barely bend, I could barely stoop. I remember I could barely do a squat.
Mm,
I was like, I kept telling Coach Emily and, even yourself at times, hey, I can't do this. I kept
right,
saying, I can't do this. I can't do this. And then you all started taking us through, the mindset changes and everything like that. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try, and I just did it to my comfort. That was the key. I did it to where I was comfortable. And
got
even in my modifications, I still, saw results. But it was a struggle, and it's still a struggle. I'm not perfect. I don't have, I don't work out every day. I listen
right.
to my body, and I do what's basically comfortable within my range, within my limits. So, and I mean, and that's great because you all don't force me to do anything that I'm not comfortable with. And that makes a difference because it makes me want to do more and improve on seeing if I can reach that next level. But
So
with, of course, modifications.
right, right. So how was the things that you were dealing with prior to joining? How was it affecting your life? Like how was it affecting your life, your family? Like how was
It
like
I wasn't doing anything, Vinny. I was sitting around,
mm,
I was in bed, I was
mhm,
sleeping all the time. I wasn't really involved, because my body was just riddled with pain, and discomfort and taking medication upon medication, which would just knock me out, So,
mm,
and I was like, there's got to be more to life than this. I have to
mm,
do something different, And like I said, just looking at my aunt, I said, if she can do it, I can do it,
mm.
And so, I mean, because we both have similar ailments, if you will, knee pain, back pain, joint pain,
Right.
fibromyalgia, you name it. It's like I just did it, I just gave it a chance.
So you
But
got
now I'm
tired
more
of being
active.
sick and tired.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. I got tired of being
And
sick and tired.
tell them too. Tell them the type of work that you do. Like tell them what you do. And Rose is watching. That's her aunt right there, who motivated and one of the leaders in our community as well. But tell them a little bit about you doing some of the temptations that you have on a daily basis.
Woo! You talking about the cheesecake, Benny?
Yeah, yeah, I'm talking about them cheesecakes. Woo!
Listen, with having to make cheesecakes because that's something that I enjoy doing. That's definitely a challenge right there by itself. Standing, or what have you, long periods of time or whatever. I couldn't, really do that before, and it's like now I'm starting to love what I do. I'm coming back around to being able to stand because again of the exercises that you all provide with modification, of course. And, I don't know. It's just different, Benny. I can
Yeah.
breathe. I can
Mm.
breathe. You hear me when I say I can walk up the steps without, doing all that deep breathing. I can actually walk up the steps. I can, take a little slight jog, around my house. I couldn't do that before. I could
What is
not.
yeah?
I could not do that.
What are some mindset shifts that you had to make though to make this change? Because a lot of it, like a lot of people credit, like the gym, your trainer, and all of that stuff, but those things only work for a certain period of time. What are some of the mindset shifts that you had to make within yourself to make this stick the way that you've made it stuck?
I had to find my why.
Mm,
I had to find my why. And what I mean by finding my why is why do I want to work out? What keeps me going every day, or on the days that I have scheduled to work out? And my why was I want to be able to be here for when my children have children. I want to be able to move and not be riddled with pain. I wanted to be able to have fun with my husband again. You know, that was my why. That was my push. That's my motivation to keep going every single day and not give up. Even when I want to give up, trust me, there's been several times where I wanted to give up, but I had to remind myself, do you want to go back to where you were, where you couldn't really move, where you
yes.
really couldn't stand, where you didn't, where you were laying in bed, I had to keep that in the forefront of my mind because that's my why. I don't want to be like that. And so, therefore, because I was determined within myself not to do that, yeah, I love you guys, whatever, but y'all are like quite a few hundreds of miles away. I love
Hmm.
my auntie. She's up there with you, but I'm here by myself, so it's like I still had to be able to pull on me and change my mindset and believe that I could in order to, keep going. And that, like I said, I had to find my why. And that's my why. I just wanted to be better. I wanted to be healthier. I don't want to have to take medications for the rest of my life. I don't want to be riddled with pain. So that's my why. That's what keeps me going.
Yeah, you know what's crazy about that. I made a video yesterday about why you shouldn't weigh yourself every day. And I said one of the reasons I said is because it's not a strong enough of a why to keep you going, right? And
Yeah.
it's not,
Hmm.
right? Like if you're so results driven, right? And there's nothing wrong with being results driven. But if you're so results driven, right? And that's the only thing that you focus on, it's not a strong enough of a reason for you to stay motivated along this process. Because nobody wakes up in the morning and says, I want to, today I'm going in the gym because I want to lose 5 pounds. Nah, that's not a strong enough reason, right? But if you have a strong enough reason and that thing is like you can see where you can possibly go and you don't want to go that direction, and you put that in your mind and say, yo, like I see where I could go. Maybe that's family history, maybe that's even within yourself. Like you said, you were on medications, you were on a lot of different things. When you can see where you can go and not want to go that path, right? And want to go in the other direction, that's a strong enough of a reason to show up as many times as you have to show up
That's
to
right.
make sure that you and that bus never collide. And when I say that bus, it means, in life, you're either feeding disease or you're fighting it, right? It's either one of those two things. You're either
That's
feeding
right.
or you're fighting. So if you're feeding it, it's like a head on collision. You may not see it coming right now, but at some point, you and that bus are going to meet. And when that bus meets you, you have to be okay with
Yep.
whatever that result is. But if you're fighting disease, you're always working towards this way, and the disease is always there, but it's not something that's going to catch you because you're always working out every single day. You're changing your diet, you're changing your patterns of your sleep, you're changing the people who you're surrounded with. Like you said, your aunt was the person who motivated you to be where you are right now, right? Your change of your circle, right? Of of
Yes.
of of the people who
Yes.
you look up to, right? Has changed how you interact with your habits and your behavior. So I think that's just amazing because like I said, you found that inner purpose and that inner reason to get to get to where you are now, because working out virtually is not easy, right? Because you're not in the gym. Like you've never stepped foot in our facility not one time, and you're
Not one
down
time.
not one time, and you're down 25 pounds, which is amazing. Kim, and yeah, she got them on, and show them those dog tags again. So Kim is also a part of our nutrition program as well, and every time that they lose 5 pounds, they get a dog tag to recognize those 5 pounds. So Kim has earned all of her dog tags and she rocks them proudly. And I'm super proud of you just because of the fact. But you know what? Let's talk about nutrition. How was your nutrition like prior to starting with the program?
The common misconception with people is to don't eat so that you can lose weight. And
Mm,
that's where my mindset was
mm-hmm.
let me just eat once a day or, whatever, and I'll lose the weight. That wasn't happening at all. So
Right,
when I got into the nutrition portion of your program, I'm like, wait a minute, I have to eat food? Like, really? Because I was only eating once a day, if that. Sometimes I eat half
right,
a day. And what I mean by half a day, I was eating half a meal, a portion of meal, just going through just snacking on whatever I could put my hands on or whatever. And don't get me stressed out now, because then I'm gonna be eating up everything, okay? But
right,
when I came to the nutrition portion of things, I was like, I have to eat ever so many points. Okay. And that broke down to 3 meals a day or maybe 4 meals a day. However, it looked for me, I had to fit those meals in, which wasn't hard. It was hard in the beginning, but after that first week of doing it, my body adjusted to it. And I found myself actually getting hungry when before I wasn't hungry because I was depressed. I wasn't hungry because I was stressed. I wasn't hungry because I just didn't feel like eating sometimes. But during this program, I was actually eating, and I was eating things per, I guess, measuring things out, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And after measuring them out, of course, I was eating them. It wasn't anything that I wasn't eating differently per se,
Mm-hmm.
because I always ate lean meats, like your ground turkeys or your ground chicken or whatever. But I was just being mindful. That's the other thing. I was mindful of how much of it I was eating because, again, we're conditioned to just put a scoop of, rice in your plate or whatever, maybe two scoops. You look at it, say, "Oh yeah, I can eat that." That's not what I was doing anymore. I
Mm-hmm.
actually was measuring my portions for everything from my chicken to my salmon, my
Mm-hmm.
sides, my vegetables. And then here's something weird that happened, Benny. I was
What?
actually eating sweet potatoes for breakfast. I had to
Nice.
change my mindset in that too because I'm like, what? Vegetables? Sweet potatoes? Whatever for breakfast? Nah, you know. But I did it and it was actually pretty tasty. I was like, okay, I can do that. I do. I
So
love my sweet potato mash, y'all. I love my sweet
so
potato mash. But
yes, yes. So you've opened up your mind to a lot of different things that you thought that you didn't necessarily do prior to that. And when it came to nutrition, you not only did you learn some things about nutrition, but you learned some things about yourself. And I mean, and I think that's amazing because you weren't. A lot of people think that you have to eat less food to lose weight, right?
mm-mm.
Whereas with the Ascend program, you have to eat more food, right? But
Yes,
in your portion sizes for your goals, right? And
yes,
and
yes.
and balance, right? To where other programs will allow you to eat whatever foods you want, but just in portion sizes. We want to really focus you on eating because I know you weren't eating probably as much vegetables as you're eating now, um, as much protein as you're eating now. And what I love about it is the fact that, and I could speak to this because, as you know, I'm on the journey with you. I'm not just telling you this. Um, is I love the fact that I didn't have to pull you. Something that you said earlier was I didn't have to pull you out of your own comfort zone. Like you still were able to eat the foods that you love to eat, but just for you, right? And
Yep.
and
Hmm.
and I think that helps a lot with consistency, and I think it helps a lot to um, with just sticking with it and creating what we all call a lifestyle versus something that you do for 6 weeks or 8 weeks and then you don't know what to do after that, right?
Right.
What are some of the
Hmm.
things that you what are some of the things that you still struggle with even after losing 25 pounds? Because I think people need to understand that as well. It's like this is a process. What are some of the things that you still struggle with when it comes to your health?
I still struggle with pain and getting up, but I do. I get up. I make myself get up.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I struggle with just getting online, to work out.
Mm-hmm.
Not all the time do I feel up to it, but I show up anyway, and we call that show up days.
Mm-hmm.
Accountability days. It builds character.
Tell them
So
again. What is it?
we may not
Or what they
exert
call?
ourselves.
Tell them again. What those days called?
Accountability days.
Show up days, right?
Accountability days. Just show up days. Yes,
Right,
just show up. You get credit just for showing up.
right,
And so I
right.
just show up sometimes, and I'm just doing just going through the motions, but at least I showed up, so that way it helps me build that continuation, that consistency in being there, being present, and of course being in the community. Sometimes I look over at Marva. I'm not sure if she's on here or not, but I look over and say, Marva's working out. Let me go ahead and work out for real.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna catch up with Marva. It's like, and they don't know that I'm challenging them or whatever, but I am because they're virtual as well. So, but I still struggle, every day just to get up and make it happen. But I
Yeah.
remember my why, and that typically gets me up out of the bed. It's like, come on, girl, you can do this. Come on.
Yo, what you know what is you know what it's a beautiful thing to talk to people when they first start the journey and then to see their growth when they've grown outside of that person, right? When they shed when they peel those layers back of that onion and they show that inner person, that person who they always wanted to be, and people don't think that it can be until you really buy in, right? Because a lot of people start something, but then they don't really buy into it. So they say it doesn't work, right? But what's really not
Mm-hmm.
working is them not working towards what they are buying into, right? And
Right.
you've incorporated what, and you hear me say this all the time, that you've incorporated this by any means necessary
Necessary.
attitude,
Mm-hmm.
right? As far as like, I'm gonna stay active in the group. I'm gonna post my meals. I'm gonna show up. I'm when we do those weekly Zoom calls, I'm gonna share my struggles. I'm gonna share my successes, right? All of those things you do very well at, and even if you're not having a good week, you show up, right? And that's the most important thing. And it's funny that you said it because you basically said, show up days, right? Like show up days are so important because they count, and they don't count from a perspective of how many calories you burn that day. They show up from a perspective of, I'm staying consistent even when I don't feel like being consistent, right? That's how
Yes.
they show up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because when you show up on the days that you don't want to work out, it does something for you mentally going forward, right? Because if you
That's right.
lobby with
Yep.
yourself, and there's many times that we've had this conversation, you and I, about lobbying with yourself and making compromise with yourself. Anytime you lobby or make compromises with yourself and say, "Oh, I'll just do it tomorrow," tomorrow turns into that next other day or 2, 3, 4 days from that. But the problem with that is, once you do it one time, it's something you'll do all the time, right? And you've done a great job as
Mm-hmm.
far as, just like you said, showing up. Sometimes you don't get it all right. Sometimes you don't feel like doing it. We talk about your nutrition all the time, and just doing things for yourself. Kim be working out in some of the Kim will work out in the closet of her house, y'all. She'll be doing something, and like today, she was in the workout. I don't know if she had her son or her daughter or whoever. Somebody was holding the phone, and Kim was just getting it in. I was like, and I'm training her, and I'm like, yo, like she's literally by any means necessary. If I got to get it done, I got to get it done, and I think that's so powerful. What would Kim tell Kim almost a year ago or a year ago? What would you tell that Kim today?
Oh, Jesus. Girl, you should have went ahead and listened way before now. Instead of fighting the process, you should have just went ahead and went with the process. But I'm glad that you did what you did when you did it. Because look at you now. Ow, look at you now, girl. You getting it. And not papers, but you getting that weight off.
Hey, hey, hey. Has there
Get
been
that weight
months
off.
where you right. But has it been like a steady thing, or has there been months where you've kind of like, even with all your success, has there been months where you just don't see anything? Like, a lot of people think that it's something where you just every month, every week is gonna be something. And I know you've had some of those moments where it's been like you've been totally out of it. Talk about that real quick.
Okay, well, I know that like when life happens and life will happen,
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't see any results. If anything, the scale started going backwards. It was going down, but then it started going back up, and I started to get discouraged, And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna quit. That's it. I'm not gonna do this anymore. This isn't working anymore. And I had to realize, wait a minute, is it that it's not working anymore? Or are you not working anymore? Or are you
Mm,
allowing the outside environmental things, your family, whatever, to get to you to bring you down to where you're not doing what you used to do for yourself? Are you putting Kim first? I had to have that type of conversation, and I found out, guess what? It was me that wasn't working. The program is fine.
mm,
So I had to, work at it. And it's like, there are times, where I don't see the results. And there are other times where I'm like, yes, I did it. But the thing is you said something in one of our calls. You said you have to be comfortable with where you are. If you're okay being where you are and your clothes fit nice or whatever the case may be, great. If not, and you want to come on down, keep on working. But you gotta do the work. And I was
mm,
like, you know what? He's right. I'm almost there, but I'm not quite there yet. So I got some more work to do. I lost 25 pounds. I got a few more pounds to go. But yeah, there are days or weeks and months or whatever, where I don't see any progress because I allowed outside things to stop me from doing what I need to do. But no more.
and
No
you
more.
and you put yourself first. That's a beautiful thing, Kim.
Yes,
That's
it
a
is.
beautiful thing. That's, I mean, because you've grown, and Rose is all in the comments right now talking about it. She said you tried it. When I said that you was trying to quit, Miss Rosa said you tried it. Yep, she tried it. But you just don't stop. Like, this isn't something like it is not one of those things that just starts and stops, right? It is something that you're gonna have your
Right.
moments,
That's right.
your days, like you have your injuries and you've battled through all of those injuries and still keep it moving. I remember there was a point where you couldn't even
Yes.
work out for like what? It was like what, 2 weeks
Yeah.
or something like that. And then you just switch the focus to food
Yeah.
and just switch the focus. Well, if I can't focus on this right now, I'm gonna switch the focus to this. And we talk through those things, and you've stuck with it even with that. So super proud of you, Kim. Thank you for doing this. This is amazing. Everybody, thank y'all for tuning in. Steph, everybody's giving you some love. Cassandra, Calvin, everybody, Twana, everybody's showing you a lot of love on this call. But I just want to thank you for coming on,
Thank you.
and the whole reason why I bring you guys on, because I can say these things a million times, and people would like, it sounds like it's churchy, preachy, but if they hear it from real people who are having similar issues that they have, or who may experience certain things in their life as you have, it does make a difference. And you don't know the people who you're impacting by even just doing this, because as you see, like you posted your progress on your page the other day, and you tagged me, and that joint got like 200 and something likes on it, by people just like, just cheering you on. And sometimes, you know, Rosa, she's the prime example of that, right? Like, the whole reason why you're here is because every day she was on her page sharing her progress, right? Sharing
Right.
her story, sharing her ups, her downs, her food, her this, her that. And that motivated you to get off your butt and do the same thing, right? And for
Yeah. Oh
anybody
yeah.
else, yeah, yeah. And for anybody else who's watching this, right? Somebody's watching you, right? And you're either leading them in the right direction, or you're leading them in the wrong direction, right? And you have to understand that you're either leading them the right way, or you're leading them the wrong way. So you are, either that's your kids, either that's your family, either that's whoever that is. You have to be that role model, that example for that person, to you know be that beacon and that light in your community, because there's a lot of things that's going on right now, COVID, a lot of these things, but a lot of these things can be put off, or by just increasing your health, or you can shun some of these things away by just being healthy, eating correctly, right? It won't affect you like it normally would. So thank you again, Kim, for coming on, and for everybody for tuning in. And I'm staying consistent with my social media for another week. This is week 2 for me. So I am. Listen, this ain't easy for me, Kim. So you are actually helping your boy to kind of get on this rhythm and path by keeping me consistent, and sharing you guys the story. So I really appreciate that. All right, cool.
Not a problem.
That's
All right,
all right.
Coach Benny.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one. We'll talk to you guys next Friday. We'll be on here at 1 p.m. with another client. Got my client Waynetta coming through, and she's gonna share her story as well, and then go from there. All right. Peace, guys.
All right. Bye.
Bye.